Alright, the last time I had this jig or push stick, I just used 2 screws here and then created slots to adjust these up and down. And I made 2 of these. I put one as a spare, basically, the opposite way. You can see I have used both of them. But this time I want to do something different. Instead of using going to search for a square drive tool to adjust that, I want to make this one tool-less if I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these knobs that are 1/4 20. I'll get some threaded rod and Loctite that in there. But I'm just going to drill and tap 2 spots here, probably 2 inches apart, and then make my pieces that are going to be able to slide up and down. I'll make them as tall as the side and cut the slots accordingly so that I can drop them down. I'm going to use my marking gauge and my digital caliper to find center. And then I decided I was just going to go 1 inch from the bottom and then 2.5 from the top. But that just seems a little too close to the bottom if I'm going to use a bolt like this. It might be alright, but I think I'm going to go up here. 1.5 inches and then 2.5. I already got another one made. I'm going to mark this one for length, cut it, and then we'll put it together and see how it looks. And I may make one more off of this stick, just as long as I've got it set up here. The one thing I will tell you is that to find center, the first time I did this, I just took my piece and kind of just bumped it to the bit, flipped it over, and it was a little fat on the outside, which means that the fence had to move half that distance in this direction. Had it been fat the other way, it would have had to have gone that way. So I just bumped it a little bit with my adjuster, and it's as close to center as I can get. I'll put it that way. That goes that way pretty well, and it goes that way very well. So let me cut this to length and we'll see how this thing all goes together. Alright, here's all of my components, and it's just time to see how they'll go together. So I don't think I showed you these, but these turn out pretty nice. Just cut off some threaded rod. I used the 2 finished ends, and then just put some Loctite on there and put it together. Looks pretty nice. So let's put this side together first. Get that going the wrong way. So from my previous version to this, it's quite a change. This is really over the top, but I like it. It was a nice little project. Lots of things to be learned from doing it. I'm trying if I can find a place to store that rather than store it back here. All right, let me get things kind of cleaned up and we'll take a little test run with it. And this is my old piece that was my blade side part of the jig. So anyway, I've got this adjusted to my fence. And incidentally, I'm glad I didn't cut this down any farther because this allows me to use it with my other fence with the THK bearing rail on it that sits up probably another 3/4 of an inch. So that works out pretty good. So I got it. I'll adjust this first. Drop down my, I don't even know what you call these things back here. My catch piece, I guess. Adjust that, so that's going to catch. Then I'll adjust this outrigger. Let it drop down to the fence or down to the table, and lock it in. And that's it. We're ready to go. So if I was doing multiple pieces of this rip on short stock like this would come in pretty handy. Gotta check the blade height here. Yeah, it's got to be a little higher. All right, here goes. Nice little usable piece of wood again here. That was nice. There was no danger of my hand getting in there. You know, it's well away from the work up here. So, maybe. Yeah, that worked out good. So I would say that without damaging this, you know, or cutting into it, which is not a problem, you can do that. But probably the minimum width rip that I would do would be about 1 inch here, it looks like. So that blade was just skating by this outside edge. Anyway, there you have it. A very overbuilt push stick, but very functional and very safe. Thanks for watching.